Well, I think that if you look at the results of today's game, you have to be pleased that we're able to win. I think there's a lot of good things that we did. But I also think that there's a lot of things that we need to fix. So as a coach, you always think more about the things you need to fix than the things that you did well. All right, so I don't want anybody here to think that I'm not pleased, with the effort of our players, the intensity that they played with. We executed very well on a lot of plays. And I'm really, really proud of the way the team came out and, played and executed in the game. But I also think that it's pretty obvious that we had way too many penalties, a lot of undisciplined type penalties. And if you look at the challenges of the season ahead, and I watched TV today. Did anybody else watch TV today? There's a lot of good teams in our league. I watched TVs for the last couple of days. There's a lot of really good teams in our league. And if we're going to meet the challenges of the future, we need to do a lot of these things a lot better. There are way too many mental errors, really on both sides of the ball, but more on defense. And, undisciplined type penalties. Basically gave the team a touchdown, just gave them a touchdown. Stop them on third down twice and have penalties 2 times in a row. I mean, you do that against a good team in a close game, you know what's going to happen. So we need to get all that stuff fixed, and we need to focus on the challenges of the season and the teams that we got to play in the future and what we need to do to improve. So we always have 24 hours to enjoy the game, and I certainly want the players to do that. I mean, they can wear their sweats home tonight and they can be happy for 24 hours, but we got lots of work to do. We got a lot of things that we need to clean up. We got a lot of things we need to improve. I thought special teams was really good in the game, but also we take a touchdown off the board because we hit somebody in the back, and we hit him in the back. And it was a bad decision to hit him in the back, and it wasn't even a block we needed to make for the guy to run for a touchdown. So if I sound a little bit pissed, you're right, I am. All right, so, be careful.
All right, we'll take some questions. Raise your hand, please. We'll start down here. Teal shirt.
Wait, when did you make your final determination on what the plan was for the quarterbacks, and when did you have the conversation with them and let them know what the plan was?
I talked to the quarterbacks Thursday before practice on Thursday, and they both knew exactly what the situation would be in the game. It's how we practiced on Thursday. And, I wanted Tua to play somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 plays, and then we're going to put Jalen in the game. It didn't matter how it went. It didn't matter what score was. And then wanted Jalen to have an opportunity to play. He did some good things, and some things, we need to do better, both of them. And, we wanted Tua to get the experience of going 2-minute, right before the half, so we put him back in there because he hadn't had much experience doing that. And, Jalen got to play some in the second half and made a couple good throws, but, we got to be able to execute and do what you're coached to do. That's the number one thing. And, we're going to continue to have both these guys be weapons for us on offense because I think they can. And I hope both guys can do a good job of preparing and managing to get ready for the game so that they can contribute, to our team in a positive way.
Emma, right here.
Coach, what impressed you the most about Tua's play overall?
Tua played well. He made some really good throws. Really good throws. Very accurate throws. Put the ball right on guys when they had halfway decent coverage. Made good decisions for the most part. Got him to get 2 hands on the ball. He was too loose with the ball in the pocket. He was going to get the ball knocked out of his hand. Those are the kind of things that I'm talking about that doesn't get you till it gets you. So you got to fix them before it gets you. But he played well. I think he executed. He did what he was supposed to do. He read the right things. He was well prepared in the game. I think the offensive coaches did a really good job of preparing for what they were going to see. We pretty much saw what we thought we were going to see, and for the most part did a pretty good job of executing against it.
Coach, over here on your left, and we'll go over that back over that side.
Do you have an update on Mack Wilson and maybe any of the other guys that got injured in the game?
We don't have any significant injuries. Mack Wilson could have went back and played in the game. We just chose not to put him in. I think the score was 40-7 or something. We were getting ready to play some other players, so that's, you know, a good thing that we're able to do today. We got a lot of really young players that are in backup positions, so for them to go out and play today was a good thing. They made some mistakes too, which, you know, led to the last score. So, but they'll learn from it and get better.
On the right against the wall.
Brian Van Gorder looked like he was trying to pressure you guys a lot earlier. How do you think Tua handled those decisions when he was under a lot of pressure?
I think he did a pretty good job. I mean, Tua does a really good job of keeping his eyes down the field when he's scrambling in the pocket. I mean, the first touchdown was, you know, pretty amazing to be able to move in the pocket that way and still keep your eyes downfield and throw the ball, you know, to a guy like that, and he's capable of making those kind of plays. Some guys, when they start to scramble, their eyes go down, they can't see down the field anymore, so they're stuck running. So anyway, I thought he handled the pressure well. I thought we had a good plan to handle it. I think he recognized it for the most part. And I'm sure when we watch the film, we'll see some things that we could have done better.
Stay on the right, Michael.
What you thought about the secondary and how they performed against a quarterback who's able to throw the ball down the field pretty well?
Well, you know, we didn't give up a lot of big plays, and the mental errors were made mostly on pressures. You know, I thought we made some mental errors in the secondary. When you see a guy running wide open and nobody around him, that means somebody messed up. Because we don't have any defenses where a guy doesn't get covered. We don't have any. Everybody's got somebody. So when you see that happen, and it happened about 3 times today, somebody messed up. So, you know, but what we were able to do in the second half, and some of these errors were, you know, we're trying to get somebody else who can play star. And we've been really trying to work Diggs there. We worked Patrick Surtain there for a long time. It's really probably too much for a freshman to try to play 2 positions. So we got to play Trayvon there in the second half. It's the first time he ever played. A couple times they went in motion. He was a little uncertain about what to do. But I think we're going to learn a lot about that. You know, I thought Deontay Thompson had some good breaks on the ball, and I thought we played some pretty close man-to-man for the most part. You know, their receivers, they talked about, they were supposed to be pretty good. So I was really sort of pleased with the way we covered. I wasn't always pleased with, you know, some of the mental errors that we made.
All right, with sensitivity to deadlines, we'll just take a couple more questions for Coach Saban. Anybody else over here on the right?
What did you see from Josh Jacobs, especially on special teams with the returns?
I think I saw the same thing you saw. Did pretty good. We've known he's always been an explosive kickoff returner. You know, I thought he did a great job on kickoff return. I think Jeff Bank has done a really good job of getting our players to buy into some of the things that we're doing on special teams, and it certainly showed today in some punt returns. The one that got called back, but we had some other positive returns as well. I think Jalen Waddle did a nice job of that for a freshman. To be back there on punts, handled it, you know, really well. And, you know, Josh is really good, did a really good job on kickoff return. It's always great to take one back.
Last question for Coach right here.
The 6 new coaches, new coordinators, how did that go tonight, having so many new guys on the staff?
Most of the time pretty well. You know, there were some couple things I thought we did that, you know, in the heat of the moment, maybe weren't, you know, the kind of choices and decisions that we should have made. But I think they were a good learning experience for us as a staff working together. But for the most part, it went pretty well.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.
Best of luck the rest of the season.